Hi everyone, we're just going to wait until 6 o'clock for everybody to show up. All right, so hi, I'm Jill Morgenthaler. I am going to be hosting tonight's 8 Ways to Impress during your next interview or for your next interview. I'm a staffing manager with Accounting Principles. We are a national staffing firm for accounting and finance positions on a contract and contract to hire basis. And I have been interviewing people for the past 2 years, and I have seen a lot of the do's and a lot of the don'ts of interviewing, and I want to help you. You got passed through the phone screen, you got your resume through the keyword search, so I want to help you figure out how to go through the next step, which is the lovely interview process. So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. All right. So here we go. We have 8 ways to impress in your next interview. And the first one I want you to really think about is doing your research on the company, but not just the company, who you're meeting with. And don't just look at their website. Look at their LinkedIn profile. Look at the interviewers' LinkedIn profiles. Try to find them on Facebook. What pages do they like? Find common ground with them and make sure you feel comfortable with who you're interviewing with. Know your interviewee's background. Where did they graduate from school? What positions did they held before they were in this position to interview you? It will kind of give you a scope of company growth, of where you can go going forward if you're looking to go down that path. And just as you are checking out the company on social media, remember that the company will probably be checking you out on social media as well. So make sure to remember to clean up your profiles. I mean, I don't want to see pictures of you with a beer can in your hand, partying, crazy things like that. Make sure your profiles are professional, because remember, once it's on the internet, it's unfortunately not going to go away. All right. Dress to impress. I have seen some really loud outfits, like the woman came in, she was head to toe in bright pink, and I have seen some very blah outfits. And you really want to ask beforehand what the dress code is. Is it business casual? Can I come in a nice pair of slacks and a sweater or a button-up shirt? Or is it business formal? Am I going to be wearing a suit? Because business formal definitely means a suit. Ladies, remember your fingernails. Are they polished? Is it chipping? You want to make sure to take care of those things. Men, check your facial hair. Make sure it's in check. It's not crazy all over the place. Stay away from overwhelming fragrances. Please do this. Do not bathe yourself in perfume or cologne before you come in, because you really are going to be in smaller rooms than you expected. And I really don't want you to overwhelm the person next to you. I've had to excuse myself once or twice from interviews because the smell was so overpowering. And then watch how colors might affect others. I know I wear my big red glasses, and red can be seen as aggravating to some people, but really think about that before you're going in. Are you wearing yellow? Yellow's a sunny and happy color. Are you wearing blue? Are you wearing your power suit? Is it gray or black? And think about how it makes you feel as well. And I can't express how important it is to come prepared and on time. Make sure you know where you're going. Please do not rely on GPS to get there, their times and things like that. I've had so many candidates come in and say, oh my gosh, I couldn't get to your place from my GPS. And I always told them beforehand, I'm going to send you directions, so please look at these directions. So if you're being sent directions, take a look at them. Your interviewers go to this company every day, and they know sometimes it might be hard to find. So please make sure you know where you're going. Bring everything that is asked of you in a follow-up email after you get called for the interview, or during that call. Take notes of what they asked you to bring. How many resumes should you bring? Do they want you to bring transcripts? Do they want you to bring any type of IDs for any paperwork that you need to fill out? Make sure that you have everything, because you don't want to go back home and feel like you forgot something, and you don't want to look unprepared for your meeting. Bring multiple copies of your resume. You never know who exactly you're going to be meeting with, so make sure if someone says, okay, and I want you to bring 2 copies of your resume, you bring 4 or at least 5 to make sure, so if someone else joins the meeting, you're prepared and you can go ahead and give them a fresh copy of your resume, because you never know what notes they're going to want to take or what information they're going to want to highlight from your background. And eat a little something before you go in. Nothing smelly, no onions, nothing overpowering. I don't want to smell your lunch on you, but you're hungry, your stomach lets us know. So I want to make sure that you're comfortable, maybe some almonds or a piece of fruit or something to just tide you over, especially if it's over lunch. Lunch interviews happen a lot, so if you haven't had time to eat just yet, make sure you have a little snack before you go in. Please do not read your resume to your interviewer. This is very important. I've ask candidates to stop reading verbatim per bullet point their resumes to me and answer questions about their background. What were their volumes that they were dealing with? What was their favorite part of their position that they were in? And they couldn't tell me because they were too busy trying to figure out where they were on their resume. So know your background. Don't read your resume to me. Be able to answer those hard questions. How many of X, Y, and Z did you process? And what did you do on a daily basis? How many curveballs or special projects were thrown your way? What types of analytics did you do? Know those specific answers, because otherwise you're going to look like a deer in headlights when they get to that point. Okay? Explain your achievements. You should have 1 achievement per position. You really want to make sure that you show this company, this is what I did for my previous job, and this is exactly what I can do for you. This is what I bring to the table. So each position that you've held previously, you should really think of something that you did that makes you stand out from the other people interviewing for this position. And please, please, please be honest. Don't lie to us. Don't lie about your reasons for leaving. Don't lie about your experience. Don't exaggerate your numbers. Be honest about that, because we can find that stuff out. We can find that information, and that's just not going to sit well with your interviewer. Know what you want to be when you grow up. I actually ask my candidates this question: what do you want to be when you grow up? And some of them laugh, and some of them have honestly no idea. And it's okay to say, I don't know, I'm not sure yet, but have an idea of where you want to be 5 years down the line or 10 years down the line. When I interviewed for my current position, I looked straight at my manager and said, when 5 years from now, I want to have continued my education, get my master's degree, and hopefully move on into either the marketing or the public relations department of this organization. And he was taken aback for a moment, but then I think he realized, like, oh, this girl's got a little bit of drive. So she knows what she wants to do, and she knows this is a good way to start doing that. So you'll never know what conversation can come from that, or what opportunities can come from the position that you're interviewing if you don't tell them exactly where you think you want to go. Also know that this answer can change. It can change in 1 minute. It can change in a year. It can change 5 years down the line. But have an idea of the career path that you want to forge. Ask questions. I love when my candidates ask me questions. I get very excited because that means they're paying attention to me. They're very excited about the positions I'm talking to them about. They're excited about the companies. They're excited about the potential of the role. So you're not the only one going through an interview. You want to pay attention to and what things that you want to know. Do you want to know the company culture? And think deeper here, think deeper than what you can find on Google, because there is a lot of information on companies through a Google search or LinkedIn, but dig deeper here. What are their growth opportunities? Where does this sit with your 5 or 10-year plan? What are they looking for candidates in a specific position? That's always a big thing. If there's anything missing from your background, right then and there, you can say, oh, well, maybe I don't have X, Y, and Z, but I do have A, B, and C experience. And that will allow them to look at you in a different light. Ask them where they see the company going. Is it along the lines, again, with your 5 and 10-year plan? Is it something that you're excited about? Maybe they're going public. Maybe they're deciding to build, another branch, things like that. And then think about ways that you can really help them with that situation. And then, of course, ask them, why do you enjoy working here? That's another good way of getting an idea of the company culture, of seeing what the growth potential is and things like that. And then, of course, if growth is a big thing for you, if you're like me and you wanted to continue your education, you can ask them, what continuing education or professional training do you offer? That's really a great way to see, do they have tuition reimbursement? Do they have specific programs for me to gain experience in finance or accounting or marketing or graphic design, what have you? It's really a great way to get you along that career path that you want to be in. All right, the little things do count, and then that starts with your handshake. I have had handshakes that crush my hands, and it takes a while for the feeling to get back in my little fingers. I've also had soft and flimsy handshakes, and those can be equally as, uncomfortable. So make sure you stick your palm out, you're confident, a nice good shake, a nice good grip. Make sure you're not crushing anyone. The other big thing is to be kind to everyone. Make sure you pay attention to your behaviors. You never know who you're going to run into or whose opinion they're going to ask of you. Did you like this person? Did you see this person? Did you interact with this person? So from the moment you step into that building to the moment you leave, please think about the people that you're around. Please also turn off your cell phone completely. Leave it in the car. Do not have it out on the table when people come in and meet with you. If you have it on vibrate, it is just as disturbing and just as disruptive as a ringtone. So please think about that before you meet with anybody. As soon as you walk in that building, turn that cell phone off, okay? And your body language. I have come into rooms where candidates are so scared that they're shaking out of their seats. They're twiddling their thumbs. They're tapping their foot on the ground. They're swaying in the chairs. We have the swivel chairs in our office, so they're swiveling in their chairs and things like that. I understand you're nervous and you have, you gotta let that energy out a little bit. I constantly talk with my hands, and it's something that I'm trying to work on. But what I suggest is go ahead and fidget. It's fine, but make sure that it's not very noticeable. If you need to get that nervous energy out, go ahead and, tap your fingers on your legs underneath the table so people can't see it, or tap your foot, cross your legs and move your foot. Just don't let your whole body shake, but let that nervous energy out in a way that it still allows you to come off as cool and calm and excited. Last but not least, follow up with everyone that you had meet. Make sure you get everybody's contact information. If not from a business card, then write it down. It's okay to say, how do I follow up with you after you're done interviewing with somebody? And if they don't give you their card, they'll very easily give you their contact information. Send thank you notes, and this can be either via email or via snail mail, a handwritten letter via snail mail. But when you send a thank you note, don't make it generic. Thank you for meeting me. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Send one to every single person that you had met with. And then remember one thing that that person and you spoke about, and make sure to mention that in your thank you note. Not only will that show them that you're excited about the position, but you remembered exactly what that person spoke to you about and what their concerns were, what they were excited about. You really want to pay attention to those things and reiterate them back to the company. Also, it's okay to ask them, What are the next steps in this process? Is this going to be a two-part interview? Am I going to meet with anybody else? Are you going to go ahead and call me and let me know, when is that going to be? So that way you're prepared if you have any other, interviews pending or any other offers pending, you can go ahead and plan accordingly on what's going on. All right. Well, now I'm going to open the floor to anybody with questions. You can go ahead and write them in the chat box and I can answer anything that you have, or you can go ahead and turn your microphone on and ask that way. Don't be shy. All right. So you can always email me questions if you need to. I'm at Jill Morgenthaler, JILL MORGENTHALER @gmail.com. Find me on staffingenvy.com. That's my website or my blog, and you can go ahead and email me through there. Facebook, Jill Morgenthaler, or on LinkedIn. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it.